Hello my friends, welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, sponsored by the Mage of Call of Dragons, we're going to update my tier list. And I got a few changes that I want to make, given that we got Yunming, who was amazing, and we can also rank Grimara, who I think was just like also present. And I mean, look, as a garrison, she's obviously outstanding. That's not what we're talking about. This tier list is really more oriented toward just smashing in the field. So we'll make a few adjustments here, and then we'll talk about why I'm adjusting the heroes around the way that I am. And like big picture, let me just throw something out there. At the end of the day, we're still kind of building up to the point where you have 5 legendary hero pairs for each troop type, or in some cases we have that depending on how deep your collection is, right? And at the end of the day, what I find anyways, is that, especially now that we can get a lot of troops back at the end of every season, the goal is to be running basically, in a perfect world, 5 of a troop type at any moment in time, or 4 of a troop type plus an infantry, right? That feels like something that is pretty commonly done, whether you're using cavalry, or whether you're running in some infantry while in the back with your mages or your marksmen. That's at least how I've been thinking about it. And sometimes I'm bringing multiple infantry and using a couple range marches. But for the most part, like, I'm trying to use entirely the same troop type just for ease of gameplay all at one time. It's just easier, right, to run 5 mages than it is 4 mages and an infantry. And it's not that complicated, but like, you know, when you're slamming a bunch of hours in a row, it's just easier. Anyways. First thing we got to do is rank Yunming, who's actually just amazing. Like, I put him all the way up the S tier. I don't even have him maxed, and his reports were a cut above any other mage report I could possibly generate. Insane. Grimara, I'm going to put her at the bottom of B for now. Like, yeah, obviously the two of them paired together is doing great, but I don't think there's particularly a strong synergy between them that couldn't be stronger with like 2 open field high damage pairs. I mean, the thing that I will say is he does tons of skill damage, so anything that enhances skill damage is a huge W. Now, with all that said, I kind of want to shift Urag to the right, and I think I'm just going to bump Goresh down for now. I think that's the play. I mean, Gen 4 in for just really where it's at, and like Magrat's really good, but I feel like with the addition of Yunming, the meta for me really shifted in the direction of mages. Like, I, before this, was very much all about marksmen and also obviously infantry, but I found myself in many, many, many instances preferring to use the mages over the marksmen. It's just what I was preferring. And it could just be that these new mages are like so cracked. So if you're, you know, trying to run all mages, you can use Magrat as a mage plus all the other mages you have access to. And like, yeah, like you can kind of chill and do a lot of damage. All right. That is definitely true. Now, with all that said, are there other heroes that I want to move around? I mean, when we compare to other mages, I would say that this is actually reflecting my experience with how the reports rolled in. And I think, you know, I'm accounting a little bit for the fact that I could have Exemplar on my Infernal Flame and these mages would do a little bit better, but like single target damage is really not where it's at. So Thalia all the way down here makes sense to me. Grimara all the way down here. I mean, she does do a slight skill damage enhancement. So like there's synergy here, but single target damage, man, it's just not, for open field, it's obviously not kind of where it's at. All right. Now, as far as these other calves go and other troops, I'm honestly kind of inclined to bump down like all the marksmen. Like, was it just me? Or were marksmen just not as good this season as they were compared to like literally every other season? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy to do this, but I'm like really kind of inclined to like bump down Sybil, and it just moves them around a little bit. I mean, I'm just kind of massaging the list at this point, I guess. Like, very minor changes. Honestly, overall, feel pretty good about this list. The ones at the bottom felt like they really didn't cut it. and the ones a tier above felt like they were either situational or had some value. Maybe this is not such a great spot for Tohar. Like, it's possible he's underrated in this system. Yeah, I could certainly see that. I think Danfell did way better for me than he did in prior seasons, actually. Like, these two inf together did much better. I was very happy with that. I would even bump them all the way up here, possibly even bump them up a tier potentially. I could certainly see that. Cavs can just do some really disgusting things in the right context. So I'm hesitant to move around Cavs too much because of just how insane they can be. I mean, directionally, I feel like this is pretty close. Like, if a new player was coming to me and they were saying, Chisgule, what should I work on? It would be these three over here. In that regard, like, I almost want to bump Urag down, but I'm not as much a Cav player, so I don't think that's really fair to do. Like, if you're a really good Cav player, I think you're getting some truly ridiculous merits with Urag. You can let me know down below in the comments. I would skew the investment toward the Gen 4s, quite frankly. Magrat's probably going to be really good for a long time still, but these two the Inf and Yun Meng, I just feel like if you were just getting to the end game and you could just wave a magic wand and pick what to work on, these two would be pretty high priority for what you work on. I mean, this really changed. Yun Meng really, unmaxed, was delivering reports, baby. Absolute value from those reports. So, the only thing I think I could tweak is kind of bumping up these infantry a little bit. I feel good about where Chisgule is, and I do feel good bumping Goresh down. I don't think he... I mean, you can do some really good stuff with Goresh too. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think this is directionally right. And at the end of the day, look, you need 5 pairs for every troop type, or 4 plus a lot of inf you're going to cycle through. So I think you're going to want the overwhelming majority of these heroes anyways. The ones that are more skippable are the ones toward the bottom. All right, the D tier ones are kind of like, is there a reason? And then the Indus lovers are still so mad at me for not being like, Indus is the best ever. Honestly, I'd bump her up. I think that's reasonable. I could bump her up to there and be okay with it. There's certain, like, Hosk is certainly situationally very good. Thea can situationally be really good with the right mages. Like, if you ran Celestials, you could use Yun Ming and Thea, and that actually, I'm told, slaps. So in that regard, all right, I'll do it. I'll pump up Thea, sure. Something like that for now. Probably could go higher, honestly. This is better than I had expected. And then, yeah, I think, Kanara. Where does Kanara go? Are mages just that much better? I guess we could leave it here for now. This is pretty close. All right, let's jump in game real quick. I'm going to go spin for Yun Meng because he's here, and we'll talk a little bit about my strategy, why I'm spending dollars but not gems. All right, it's the last day of the wheel. I do want to spin for Yun Meng, and I did want to get it in a vid. And the only reason I'm not moving more quickly on Yun Meng is I'm trying to just get some value, 1. And 2, I very, very firmly believe that exemplars are the path forward. Like, if you are missing out on 10% of all damagey goodness, that's 5% less damage taken and 5% more damage dealt, I think you're really going to be missing out on these reports. So the effect over here is just in damage dealt and damage taken, 10% swing is... This is a big deal. The other piece of the puzzle is obviously the, bonuses to the effects can be very powerful. And yeah, I mean, this artifact, dude, So insane. When launching a normal attack, the Wielder's Legion has a 100% chance to deal extra magic damage. The next time it deals hero skill damage, 120 factor. It ain't much, but what an incredible passive ability. That is really good. Plus it does all this, which is quite strong. All right. So I think Yunming is absolutely the jam right now. I mean, I moved in pretty heavy on this pet, which I could not be more happy. There are times where I'm like, why did I do this? When I originally did Bert and Tohar, I was like, this didn't work out the way I was hoping. But Yunming, I only have him 5-4, 3-4, and I was fighting with him with less than that. So yeah, he's been a great addition to the team here. So the reason I'm spinning, but only to 100, is because I want the tiered rewards, but I'll chill out with the gems waiting for artifacts. That's like, artifacts are the name of the game. It's actually, I don't know if you saw, they updated, but it's Call of Artifacts. Ooh. The Change of Fortune now has a new bundle set up. But this is exactly the same as it was. It's just displayed differently. Yeah, that's true, right? I go, yep, okay, it is. Let's just change that back down to 0. All right. No, okay, 1. All right, I'm not spending any gems on this. I'm going to spend the dollars over here, get a bunch of vouchers. And then I'm going to spend my gems going for artifacts. That's the game plan. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm sure subscribers do by this point, but I'm using dragon tickets to buy these bundles. It is interesting you could just skip around and buy whichever bundle tier you wanted. But anyways, these dragon tickets, I have pre-purchased using the site linked in the description of the video. It's the official Farlight store. The value of using the official Farlight store is you also get dragon coins that you can also use instead of a ticket to buy a bundle of basically pre-purchased bundles. But you get about 10% of extra value, depends on what you're getting, in dragon coins, which is awesome. So that is, as far as I know, the best way to make a purchasing game. So let's do our spins and see how lucky we get. We're 0 out of 75 on Yunming. Okay, like, I would expect to get like, well, after the tiered rewards, 60 to 70. I'm just shooting from the hip. Maybe that's a little low. So there's 1, 2, 3. And, you know, honestly, I was at full pull already. Hey, yo. I gotta like glance to the side. I am recording, right? This is coming through, right? This could be a good set of pulls here. Or not. You know, or not. We'll just, you know, get a couple Yunmings as we go, I guess, and be happy with it. But honestly, I'm good with it. The G4s I could use for kind of whatever here, and that's all well and good. There's another Yunming and a G4 hero token. Yeah, I mean, I could. Oh, there's the full pull. Okay, kind of expected it by this point, so that's fine. 2 more Yunming. Okay, 4. 4 is kind of legit. Hold up. Okay, 0. Why, bro? 1 and 0. I got a G4. There's 3 more, and I mean, I could use all the tickets, or I could save them for next time. I'm just gonna use them all. Sure, that worked out great. A G4 token. Yeah, I probably am on the very lower end of the spectrum, I guess, for the number of hero tokens I got here. What was that, like 50 maybe? Let's find out. Yunming, skills, 74. Oh, what am I complaining about? I get a skill up. That's pretty decent. I will use a G4 +1, confirm. I'll send it. Done. What did I get? Ooh, skill damage bonus, HP bonus. I'll take it. Yeah, decent. I have 3 more skill ups to go. I'm kind of slow rolling it, like I said, and I'm good with that. And at the time of this recording, my daily special offer is going to Yunming. Now, I expect soon we'll have some Halloween style events We did get a new hero very recently. They're epic, though. I could pull for them, which I do plan to do. She's got quite an attire here. The leaves, huh? Well, anyways, you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe. You got modifications for the tier list, definitely let me know down below in the comments. Certainly open to feedback, but like I said, at the end of the day, like, you're going to need 5 of every troop type or 4 of every troop type, plus constantly running out infantry. And, you know, sometimes more than 1 infantry, depending on what your team needs, right? It is what it is, but in fact, to be perfectly honest, I kind of like just cycling infantry through to the front. But that is topic for a separate video, all right? You enjoyed this one, throw a like in here, subscribe. You want to see my last one, I'll have a card in the end screen. Until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.